Hello and welcome to the Madhubani painting tutorial on Dasavataram series, and today we are going to do Vamana Avatar. In case you missed out on other avatars, you can check the link in the description box where you will find all the other necessary details and material list as well. Now this video tutorial is in English. If you want to watch the same tutorial in Hindi, you can also check the link in the description, and all the links are also available in the first comment. Now this is a A4 size thick paper which I'm using for sketching or for making the painting as a base. I'm using this thick paper around 300 GSM. Now for sketching, you can either use some waterproof pen just like this one, but this is of course a modern medium. But today we are going to use a very traditional one, which is this nib-in holder. Now you have to dip this nib in either ink to sketch or black paint. So I'm using a calligraphy ink. What I have done is I have just poured it out in a bowl like this, because I don't have that bottle where you can directly dip inside and start sketching. So I just need to pour in small quantity in a bowl, and then I'm going to dip my nib here and start sketching. So first of all, we are going to do the borders, and as you already know that for borders, we are first going to try to do the frame. So for the frame, what I have to do is, first of all, sketch the double line. Now this is how we do it. As always, first of all, we sketch the frame before we start with the design. And today's border design is completely new, first time done on my channel. So stay tuned for this beautiful border design. And today we are going to create the Vamana Avatar, as I said earlier. And this is, I guess, the fifth or sixth avatar. We have already done many on my channel, and you can check all the links in the first comment or the description box. Also have created a separate playlist for you guys. So if you want to just watch that Dasavataram series, you can directly tune into that playlist and you will find all the video links. And definitely we will continue doing this further on my channel, and we will definitely finish this series. So here we go. We are just going to continue with the frame. So what I'm going to do is just do the double line frame on all four sides. So this is how I go. So you have to be a little bit careful when you're doing it with the nib, especially because you have to every time dip it in the paint. So you have to be a little bit careful while you're drawing it with the nib. Of course, with pen it is easier. Now with the nib, the thing is that the paint or the ink that you are using, it doesn't dry off so quickly. So you have to wait till you sketch and it dries off completely before you proceed like here. So I'm just going to do the curves, just like a random zigzag curve all over. And I'm going to continue. As you see, I have started from the corner. It makes the life easier when you start any design, any border design from the corner. And then I'm going to just draw floral patterns. So semicircles inside those curves and floral pattern. That's how easy this design is. But once you do it, it is super, super beautiful. It looks really, really nice. It's a new border design that I'm using today. And I'll continue it on all inside all those curves that we created, and we are going to finish it on all four sides. So this is the border design for today, and we are going to just continue doing it and finish it on all four sides. Just showing you the corner how it should look like. So this is what you have to keep doing: semicircles and then floral patterns. So once the border is done, we are going to sketch the design. So for design, first of course we start with the face. Now you see in the top part I have left a little bit space because there is where the umbrella is going to come. Now for the face, you have to be careful because when you draw the face, it is in a certain way that you draw face in Madhubani painting. So that is why I have done it like this. So you have to be very careful with the sharp nose and how you do the lips and how you exactly do the neck and everything. And as you see, we are just going to extend the hair because he was he was like a saint. So we just gave that, bun kind of structure on the top and some tiny details. So not much decorative as he was a kind of saint. So we are not going to very much be decorative in terms of accessories here. I'm just doing the double line here in the head part. Now when I do that, it really helps when you fill in colors. Now here on the top also, I'll just show that it is tied. So, and just do some tiny patterns here. Now then, after doing the face and the head, I will just continue with the body. So here we go. We are just going to extend it and the body with the hand especially. And I'm just going to first with simple lines, just as you see, super simple lines. You don't have to complicate things. And do, the hands. And then a little bit here in the eye, the eyebrow. And then filling in black color here. And then do the eyes. So in Madhubani style, the eyes are very big and bold. If you're already watching my channel, probably you are bored and I just keep repeating things. But it is also for the new people who are the new subscribers or who are learning this art form for the first time. So these details need to be shared. And we will continue then. After making the big and bold eye, we will continue with the hand. So if you have to show that he's holding something in the hand, so you can, make the fingers like these, in tiny curves, which shows that the hand is folded and something is, inside the hand. So he's holding something. So like here we are doing, we are showing the front part of the hand. So we are going to draw it in a different way. So these tiny things are to be kept in mind while you are doing or while you are watching this tutorial. So I try to explain as much as possible, but I will also put the sketch. Once we finish the sketch, I will put for your reference. You can check it out there, or you can connect with me on Instagram at Dattanushri. I can send it to you there if you, send me a message. I will share the sketch and the painting. You can also, check out the painting there or my other artworks as well there. So here we go. I'm just trying to extend here, what I'm going to draw is kind of a, he is having a kind of, a scarf or a shawl on his shoulders. So that is what I'm going to draw. I'm just drawing some tiny details in the hands. So these, depict that he's having kind of some accessories in the hand. Not much, as I said earlier. So we are just going to be minimal today on the details. So after doing that, I'm just going to do the same scarf extension. So he's kind of wearing that saint-like shawl on his shoulders and just trying to cover that as well on the other side. So this is how we do. And the double lines. Don't forget the double lines. They really help you. First of all, if you talk about what is the function of the double lines, it is basically it separates one color from another, or if you're doing one pattern from another. And once you will start filling in colors, you will see how these double lines, because they appear to be white then later in between two dark colors or two bright colors, so they really highlight the painting. Also, there is a significance if you talk in terms of Mithila culture. So when I got in touch with a Mithila artist and asked him why we do double lines in Madhubani painting, so what he told me was very interesting, and I would like to share it with you all. Is he said that it represents Shiva and Shakti, and they always move together. So that is what is the cultural significance of it. So here, I lifted it the leg a little bit. So just a little bit curve, if you see, or angle given to the leg, because this is relevant to the story of the Vamana Avatar, that with one leg he could measure the earth, the universe, something like that. So we are just trying to depict that here. So basically under his feet, what I drew is, the globe or the earth, basically. Globe-like structure, I would say, not the globe exactly, but the earth, basically, to show that it's the earth under his feet. So this is the avatar of Vishnu, and this is the story behind it. So that is what we are trying to represent here. And then we try to move on. And as I said, a little bit accessories, of course, we are going to make, but we are going to keep it minimal. we progress a little bit. So basically structure is mostly done here. And we have to now just try to fill in the patterns, try to fill in the tiny details that are left, and do the double lines wherever we see is necessary. So that is what is left at the moment. And I'm just showing you here, you have to fill in black colors everywhere, wherever there is hair. And then we move on, and we are just going to create now the, a little bit, we'll just check if the paint is dry, and then I will just try to create the umbrella. So this is basically inspired from the, avatar of Vishnu, how it is represented, that he had an umbrella in his hand, kamandal in his other hand, and that is what we are trying to show. And his height was not much, so that is also shown here, a little bit not very proportionate to the human body. And then down we will just create some semicircle here, very close to one another. So this is basically another very, very common and typical Madhubani design which is used. So here we go, we'll just continue it, and we will create these same patterns in layers. So we will basically repeat these semicircles on top of one another. So that is what we are going to create. And then we continue. So yeah, we will continue here, and we will create the layers. So should we do one more layer or not? I have to decide that. No, we will not do it. So we just did two layers. Now I'm just going to fill in some fine details in the umbrella. So here we go. I'm just filling those fine lines somewhere. And then everywhere you have to fill in the black color. So here we go. So I just marked it for you so that you know where the black color is going to come. And here we are going to shade it with fine lines in between. In the bottom wear, the dhoti part. So shade it with fine lines every alternate. So that is very important, because in between whatever we leave blank is basically the place where we are going to fill in colors. So that's very, very important to do. Now I'm going to create some design in the umbrella. So this design I have kept it super, super simple, guys. And to be honest, Madhubani painting is also very simple and naive form of folk art. So you have to be, you can easily do it as a beginner. Also, this design is not very difficult. So that is why also, that is also the aim, that anybody who wants to draw this can do it. So here we go, just simple lines, simple curves inside the umbrella as well. And now is the time for the background. And now this background, what I'm making is a very, very traditional background. So I'm basically creating a floral background with flowers, leaves and branches. So that's what I'm going to do today for the background. Not very, very intricate, but also not very plain. So I'm just going to fill the same pattern, what I'm drawing right now, the floral pattern. So with the branches and everything. So I'm going to fill it in the background. So that's basically the sketch. So most of the sketch is almost done. So we have to just work on the background. Here we go. And then again doing the same pattern for the stems, just like we did for the umbrella, making some fine lines as a pattern and then filling the rest of the part with the black paint. You can also use a dark brown for this if you want. So here we go, we are just done with a little bit of background. So as you see everywhere, in the background, also behind him, I have created that floral pattern. So this is what you're going to repeat. Leaves very close closely packed with one another. That is very important, that you make it very close to one another. Then it looks much more beautiful. So we are almost done with the sketch. We are just going to repeat the same. And we're just going to place it close to one another, just like here, the leaves. And in between, we are going to put those floral patterns also. So that's very important. So once you are done, this sketch is going to look like this. Exactly like this once you are done with sketching. So after the sketch, the time comes to fill in nice and bright colors. So we are going to start first of all with the border, and I'm using orange for the floral pattern that we created. Now here you have to notice that I'm using orange just on the floral pattern, but not on the semicircle below. That I'm going to fill with a different color. So that is very, very important to understand where to fill in colors and where not to fill in colors. Now again, in the double lines, many people question me that do we have to also fill in the double lines? No, the double lines are going to remain like that. And that is basically the highlight. That is how it highlights the painting. So these things are to be kept in mind. Of course, you can choose your own color combination, whatever you want. But we are just here to learn where to fill in colors and where not. So here again in the floral pattern, I'm using the orange. So this is how we continue with orange. And then I'm going to use green, completely fill the leaves with green, because the rest of the background I'm going to leave it white. So that is why I'm just going to completely fill the leaves with green. So this is a very, very traditional and typical style. I have not covered, much of the background, but a little bit left white. Now here I'm going to use yellow for the scarf and completely fill it with yellow, because on top of it, I'm going to draw the pattern. So that is why I have not, drawn any pattern on it. And I'm going to use a solid color, solid background kind of with yellow. So that's how we do it. And once we are done with that, then we will continue to do a little bit of black for the, the background for the border, and now blue here in the semicircle for the border. So the border is complete after filling that, and then a blue for the earth that we showed under his feet for the water bodies, and green for, of course, the, showing those islands or those, places and earth on the earth. And then here in the umbrella also I'm using green and red for the floral pattern. So these are the basically colors that we are going to fill. And after that, we are just going to use blue here again. So blue and orange is basically the combination most of the time for the floral pattern. And I'm going to use a red, bright red for the dhoti. So it's basically a combination of red and yellow. And I'm going to use the same red to draw some pattern, as I said earlier. So I'm just going to draw dotted pattern in, placed as a triangle here. If you say 3 dots placed in a triangle. So that's the pattern. That's the first pattern. And then with a nib and with the red, I'm just going to shade it with dotted lines. So that's my pattern. So this is the pattern for his scarf, and this looks really nice after doing it. And I'm going to use some dotted pattern also in the umbrella, because it looks then very, very boring with just the solid green color. So I'm just going to use that pattern. So that dotted pattern. And then I just want to, use the dotted pattern for his body part also, because the white also looks not that great. So I'm just going to just use those dotted pattern here, and it looks nice after filling it with that. So that's what I'm going to use here, and continue and fill it here completely. And keep doing it till it fills completely, and it looks really nice after doing that. So this is what we are going to do, and fill it also a little bit part here which is left. And then we are going to, last but not the least, use a skin tone for the face and hands. I already did it. So that's where the skin color is going to come. Now you can use a very light blue also if you want to really represent the Vishnu, but I just chose the skin color because that is from the original story, how it looks like. And I am going to use some brown here for the stones that we drew in the bottom. So it's brown and orange basically arranged every alternate, like this. So that's what we are going to do in the bottom part. So our painting is almost done, guys. Don't forget to like this video and do comment how do you like this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and we will soon be done, and I'll share the picture once we are done with the painting. So a little bit orange here as well in the kamandal that he's having in his hand. And this is how the painting looks like once it is done. Thank you once again for watching. Stay tuned for many more tutorials every week, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.